Boom, 1 LSW. Right, I very rarely do the ICS ones because I very rarely do the ICS ones. A lot of people, we discuss it and they go, nah. Alright, so I'm actually looking forward to it. They're weird because the gearbox is upside down and backwards and all that weird shit. But, yeah, this will go to my Patreon channel and we shall go from there. What was your budget to make it super awesome? I think this would be my preferred L85. If I liked an L85, this is probably my preferred type. So, let's see how she performs, and I have to remind myself about this now. I do one of these every couple of years. That looks like a 3D printed hop unit. Hang on. You got a 3D printed hop unit? Because I think I can see a 3D printed hop unit. You got a 3D printed hop unit? I don't want to do something with a 3D printed hop unit. That sounds like it'll give me fucking chlamydia. I don't want this to be a thing. I really don't. Right. In reverse order, 299, 298, 143, 224, 293, 294, 281, 274, 278, 290, 270, 269. The semi-auto is fucking awful. Fuck. Ready? Semi. Put it to full. That sounds that sounds bad. Like it sounds like it's flapping. That's not good. That's not a good thing. Oh God, no! It's another one. Oh, it's going to be a shit show. No. I was praying this was not going to be a shit show. I was praying. Every gun that I've had, every single one for the last 2 weeks, I've only got about 6 guns done in about 2 weeks because most of them have been a fucking shit show. Here's your semi. We go to full. That unlocks it. Semi. Oh, your power is all over the place. He wants to use this as a rental pup gun or a lender gun. So I'm going to say to him, let's just full auto lock this. Let's just lock it to full and be done with it. Right, there's no spring on the anti-reversal. Plate's missing from the top. It's a hell of a long barrel, but it's a pristine barrel. And if this hop unit works, fine. I can't imagine how fucked up that could possibly be. Right, here we go. We're going to lock it to full only if I can't make the semi work properly. That is damaged. He doesn't have a huge budget for this. And he's going to be giving it to people to fucking run around with. So I think what I'm going to do, this is bought second hand from the same fucking and I think I'm going to probably put a MOSFET inside it that I can just lock this bitch to burst fire. That way people can't fucking kill it. When he gives it to somebody, they can't kill it. That is a fuck me. I would love to know what that spring's doing. Hang on. Let's do it. Let's see what spring that's doing. Let's just wham it into my unmodified, fresh out the box E&C. Let's see what it's actually doing, because I've got a sneaking suspicion. Let's play a game of what fucking power is this? I am going to use 11.1. Let's see. 0.25. I'm just going to turn on a tiny amount of hop. Okay, just enough to hold the BB. Just enough. And I'm going to shoot at that. 0 rounds. M140, maybe M150. .89 joules. Stop buying second-hand tut. I just tested the spring that was in your gearbox. I put it into a brand new E&C and I turned the hop on a little bit just to hold the BB in place. Now, as you saw before, the power was less than a joule. The spring that's actually in here to make this gun do less than a joule is doing 0.01 of a joule over every sight limit for DMR in the country, all bar a couple. Stop buying second-hand shit from airsoft sites. Motherfucker, that is just mental. It really is just mental. I'm not touching anything at the top yet. No way. I've got to see what's in this. God damn. Pinion's fucked. Fuck. It doesn't get better. Mishmash of gears. SHS 12-1 there. The edges are fucked on that. You can see already a bit of piston is broken off. That's standard, that's standard, that's standard. It's got a mushroom piston head. Piston's fucked. And this here is not mushroom. So it just leaks air. Yeah. I don't believe that is an SHS gear. Oh my god. I don't believe that's an SHS gear. It looks a bit too flat. This one, oh. Yeah. Teeth on that are going to give. It's split. Got a split in the gear, look. Cracked gear. No one listens to me. Motor pinion is damaged. Well, we'll revisit this when it's finished. Everything in here had to come out. Just everything that was in here. Now, the spring that was in here, the big silver cunt, that one looks like one of the SHS or SHS knockoffs. I don't know what spring that is, it just happens to be on the bench. But nothing was able to be kept. So let's do a little Google at how much an LSW costs brand new. In stock at £515. That's more than I thought they were, if I'm being perfectly honest. I thought they were about 400, 450. This one was 400 quid. It was sold as, well, I got this in a trade-in. Somebody else built it, I haven't looked inside it. But everything's a fucking trade-in. It's a second-hand gun. £400. That's a lot of fucking dosh, isn't it? £400. What internals could we keep? Well, I had to keep this under his budget. This gun was going to be used for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is an emergency backup gun, something you can lend to a friend who hasn't played Airsoft before, or just to stick on the wall. So his budget was about that big. I came in under his budget. That said, the barrel is pristine. The hot rubber was a Promi. I've replaced it with a Promi because sometimes I just like to do that. I didn't touch anything with the wiring up the top here. I didn't even take it out because that would be time for me to look at it, take it all out, rewire it, new MOSFET. No. There's no budget for that. That's a later concern. It's not difficult. It's attached to a unit up here. It doesn't matter. So I left all that shit alone. The 3D printed hop unit seems to work. That's a good thing. Inside the gun. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. The reason that that is damaged and the gear is split is because it had to be knocked down or cut down, because when you build the gun, you have to build it upside down, or the gearbox rather. So that sits there. But the parts, the tappet cam, is touching and pressing on the inside of the gearbox, making it unshimmable, which is why that modification there was done. Now, these gears, as you can see, this one is a bit chewed on the corners, this one's alright. But I had to modify the inside of the gearbox. I had to route it out so that this could spin freely. The cylinder head, this wobbles, the pad is decimated, it's splitting, it's old, it had to go, not an expensive part. Twat. I used an AK nozzle, a metal one because of 3D printed plastic hop unit. So I used an AK 16, no. I use an AK 19.6. That seems to work perfectly. Perfectly. Tappet spring. Now here's where it gets fun. I did put in an aftermarket tappet plate spring. One of the really tough ones. This tappet plate spring is massively long. If you compare it to any normal tappet plate spring, that's the average size. You can get smaller ones as well. Well, the tappet plate is cracked. They've got the one of the lips at the side. At the bottom there is no lip, so the nozzle can move up and down like a motherfucker. But on this side here, it's worn away and split and it's wobbling. You can see here where this is ground out from where the gear was pressing on it. You're gonna get low power if your tappet plate can't freely move backwards or forwards and your nozzle can move up and down like this. So that wear there That's telling me the tappet plate wasn't going back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. It was going back, forward, back, forward. So it's not doing its job, and that's how that has got split and damaged. I used a V2, no I didn't. I used a V3 tappet plate. I've never really tried that before. It's about this much thinner. These edge pieces.
There you go.
These edge pieces here, the sides, those are very slightly wider on this, but it's working perfectly inside here. I just had to cut the correct slot out of here, and then I could also just take a regular tappet spring. That took the AK nozzle perfectly, no movement up and down, or nothing to worry about, at least anyway. Cylinder, I mean, scuffed to fuck, not worth the risk. We changed it. Piston, very cheap piston. It's been shaved here. You do have to do that sometimes, depending on the gearbox. If that's riding, you have to do it. But as you can see, where the gears, the sector gear was in there, wrong. It's biting on the plastic here. Only a little bit in this case, but we know that it was split. The rack is damaged, and it's a mushroom piston head. You don't want that on a flat cylinder head. All of that shit together, added with the ZCI motor, which has been very, very overworked. I've changed the pinion, I've changed the brushes. The gun is a little bit squeaky. It's far less squeaky than a regular ICS. It's not grindy, it's not noisy, it's squeaky. I didn't change that. I didn't change his bushings. And who's to say how much other fucking mayhem's gone inside here? Within his budget, I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done it. I came in 15 quid under his budget. 1.5. I got his fire selector working. There was damage to the cut-off lever, but it wasn't bad enough that it was going to cause massive issues, and just by putting a new spring on it, that did solve that, which is a good thing. The spring that's in it now is an M110, and on the tightest setting, because you've got 3 settings inside here, basically pop the upper off the lower, pull out the spring guide pin, take the spring guide out, and you've got all the way in is full, halfway, medium, all the way out, low. So it's on the highest right now. He can adjust that if he wants to. The gears inside it are now 13 to 1s, not 12 to 1s. This runs, and it runs flawlessly. So let's give it a test. Because of the build, because of the ZCI high torque motor, 11.1 is the way it's going to have to be. And again, the reason for that is that brushed high torque motors in many instances just don't like 7.4s. And for the size of the battery compartment inside here, this 1450 30C 11.1 is going to be absolutely ideal. So, semi. And then full. You can hear the leak noise. That's not grinding, it's not screeching, it's just high pitched. And that is just down to the design. It's not doing it on semi. So that tells me further, shimming is fine, shimming is fine. Now, I've got another one of these to do from a very regular customer. Oh, I thought it was an LSW, it's not, it's just a regular old ICS. I thought it was an LSW, it's not. A nice rail. That was a very nice rail. So that's going to be next on the list. But before I do this one, I've got a guy who's got his kids' Spetner Arms thing, SEMA thing, whichever it is, and I'm going to do that one first. But stop buying second-hand shit. If there is a second-hand store, don't go near it. Don't go near it. Because if they don't know what's in it, and you don't know what's in it, how do you know there's anything fucking in it at all? Buy new so that there's some kind of warranty at least. Or you buy it at a cheap price as an assumed non-working item.
arranged here?
Yes, it's lovely. I do love cake. It's just those sandwiches. I need something filthy, you know, like a kebab, but harder.
Dan, ever heard of pot noodle?
Excuse me, do you do pot noodle? Pot noodle. Pot noodle. Do you do pot noodle?
Round the back in 2 minutes.
That felt so wrong and yet it felt so right.
Pot noodle, the slag of all snacks.
ICS L85. Very nice rail system, I've got to say. Will it be as fucked up as the last one? It's not even sunny out, but I am sweating fucking bullets. There we go. You just saw fucking everything, whether you wanted to or not. I wasn't going to go into great depth. I kept the original gears because I couldn't be arsed with boring out the gearbox casing or modifying a set of gears to the point where I might not be able to use them again. This has got a much better tappet plate and much better nozzle than the last one. I mean, it's in infinitely better condition than the fucking LSW, I think you'll agree. It's clearly been looked after. So he's got the Friction Pro hop rubber and nub. I modified the arm on the hop unit so that it applied less pressure, because that's important. 90% cylinder, piston, Fatboy piston head, SHS cylinder head, 45k warhead, CNC black, and Perrin AB++. So I built this around the battery compartment space, basically. That's all I could do with this. Oh, it's so tight still. I've left extra wire. The reason for that is when it comes to changing the spring pressure and all that good stuff, I don't want this to accidentally get dragged through and tear up. Now, because the signal wires are up here, that kind of ruins that for me a little bit. I need to have them a little bit longer. So, fucking noisy cunts. Where was I? So because the wires... Lost my fucking train of thought now, the bastards. So where you pop the two pins out, separate the lower from the upper, and then move the gearbox out, I need a bit of room on the wires. And so I've just left the signal wires a bit longer because they're attached to the front, not to the back. What can I do? They're fully, if he wants to go in there and stick some tape on them and hide them, he can do, but this is the way it's going to have to be for the time being. I am under his budget, which I'm thrilled with, so let's give her a test fire, shall we? Boom. The semi is disgusting. I believe there's still one in the chamber. We shall find out. Yeah, that's on a 7.4. That is 7.4. And then full. It's here. Just fucking beautiful. That is on its fullest rate of fire. Let's just make sure we keep all these little wires out the way. Let's go Lord Tuckington with them. Boom. There it is. I'm sold. After years of hating ICS, L85s and whatever, I have not only grown to accept them, but I've grown to accept the fact they are the best L85s on the market. So anything that I would do to this, with magic ETUs and fucking all that cool shit, microswitch triggers, I can do that to this. I don't see any reason anymore to buy a fucking Ares whatsoever. And to be honest, I never fucking did, let's face it. And what else? Yeah, G&Gs, armies, nah. The ICS the way to go, really.